Welcome to my multi-platform awards, or for what I think is the best multi-platform game of 2008. Now, you are going to notice that most of the games, or all the games that I'm going to show here, are for the Xbox 360, and I really don't want to get into why that is. If you want to know why, check out my PlayStation 3 collection video. I gave a good 1 minute as to why that is. Now, like my other awards videos, I like to start off by saying a couple of titles that I was not able to get around to playing or buying. And one of them is going to be Call of Duty World at War. I have bought it, I have just not got a chance to play it. And the other one that comes to mind is Dead Space. I was not able to play either of those, as well as Far Cry 2 and Mercenaries 2. Never got around to playing those. But the ones on my list I did enjoy quite a bit, and so let's get started. First one is going to be Mirror's Edge. I had so much fun with this one because I guess you can say it reinvented the first-person genre. Now, normally when you hear that, you think you're going to hear first-person shooter, but after playing Mirror's Edge, I think we're going to see a new genre of games, and that's first-person games without the shooter in it. Because this game was really designed to be made to be played without guns. While they do have guns, it's more of like a free-running platformer game in the first person. I enjoyed the style of it, even the music. The characters fell a little flat in terms of their personality and everything like that, but this was a really unique and fun game. Definitely worth a nomination. Next up, Grand Theft Auto 4. Once again, Grand Theft Auto proving that Rockstar can make some of the best sandbox open world games out there. I never got into it as much as some people. I had a lot of fun just going around and exploring the city, just having a look around and all the little details that they put in. It's not just people walking around, they're interacting and they're talking. And I had a lot of fun going online and just playing in free play mode. I didn't get as involved in the story mode as I thought I would, but from what the universe of this game offers, worth a nomination for me. Amazing graphics as well. I just picked this one up a couple of days ago, and that is Prince of Persia. Now, I wanted to get this one on my list. I kind of put off doing this video until I played this game because I wanted to play this really bad. And I will say that I am very impressed by the game's visuals and its style. It's a very, I don't want to say adult cel-shaded game. It's more of a stylistic one where it's more like the cel shading isn't taken to a level where that's what you notice. You notice the vibrant colors and the world itself. You're not paying attention to how they use the cel shading. It's more of the world as a whole. Now, in terms of gameplay and everything like that, I'm a little mixed, but from what this game has in terms of being different from your normal action-adventure games, in terms of its exploration, yeah, it copies off, games like Okami and stuff like that. But it is unique in the sense that combat isn't the main focus, and that's actually a pretty good thing. It's more revolving around its collecting and opening up worlds and bringing them back to life. Next is the Lord of the Rings Conquest. This is one that I only recommend, and it's really getting on my list because I'm such a big Lord of the Rings fan. And especially because I played online. Online is the big draw of this game, without a doubt. The single-player campaign, not so much. The online is where this one's at. If you're a fan of Battlefront games, Star Wars Battlefront games, or if you've ever wanted to play a Dynasty Warriors type game online, this is your type of game right here, in terms of the controls and the combat and everything like that. The universe is it's brought to life so well in terms of the Lord of the Rings license, and the online was really enjoyable for me with all the different classes. And it has its problems with the controls and everything, but for me this was a really welcome addition to the online games that I'm playing right now. Worth a nomination. Sonic Unleashed for the Xbox 360. Now, this is one that just barely made my list, only because it has so many good factors about it, but then it also has a list of really bad ones. You already know what I'm talking about. It's the daytime and the nighttime levels. While the daytime levels, in my opinion, are the best levels and experience that I've had in the Sonic games since the Genesis days, it is, in my opinion, better than Sonic Adventure. They're really that fast-paced and that well done. But when it comes to the nighttime levels, it really slows down the game's pace, and it takes away from the overall feel of how much fun you're having in the normal levels, where it really feels like a fast, classic Sonic game. But despite having the nighttime levels, if you can look past that, this is without a doubt a really fun Sonic game, worth a nomination on my list. It has a lot of great things going for it. Even its graphics are really good. And lastly, Fallout 3. Fallout 3 is one that, you know, honestly I haven't even mentioned that much about. People have been wondering my impressions on this game for a while, and I'll tell you that my impressions and my overall thoughts on the game are very good. I was a huge fan of Oblivion, so obviously I'm going to love Fallout in terms of the open world RPG elements mixed in. Is this Oblivion with guns? The only thing, not really. The only thing that it has in common with Oblivion is that conversations look the same, and the whole open world kind of, you know, it has the same. You'll notice similarities, like I said. You know, it's gonna feel like Oblivion with a whole different paint job on, but the combat is so unique and different that it's really hard to compare it to Oblivion. And you can play it like a real-time first-person shooter, or you can actually stop time and, you know, use the VAT system to select parts of the body, and then there's all different percentages. The leveling up system in this game is so rewarding and so great. Every time you level up, you're going to get new skills, new abilities, and that really plays into the whole aspect of the game where you always feel like you're gaining new equipment and always getting stronger, and that's the one thing that this has over Oblivion. You really feel like you're getting stronger because the levels of the enemies don't scale with you. So when you level up and you get that new skill, and you get that new weapon or that really awesome piece of armor, it really feels like your guy just got a heck of a lot powerful, because those monsters that you were having a hard time with 5 levels ago, you're blasting them to bits now. In terms of its universe, it does a really, really well job of making you think like you're in a wasteland, living, you know, walking around with real breathing people, because the conversation trees are really diverse, and you know the facial animations and everything like that. The characters are still a little stiff, but they have some really good voice actors that bring the characters to life. The one thing that I do want to say about Fallout that I didn't really care for is that it's so stark and depressing that sometimes, you know, you don't even have I'm still having fun while I play it, but sometimes I wish that Fallout was in a setting, you know, like Oblivion, with the bright trees and the mountains and all that kind of stuff. I mean, this is constantly tires over here and shopping carts over there and dead bodies and cockroaches. You know, it has a very depressing and dark feel to it. But for what it's going for, it really, really delivers. And without a doubt, we're the nomination. So I'm going to do a little bit of an elimination here and boil it down to my multi-platform game of the year. Let's start by eliminating Sonic Unleashed. Definitely not the best multi-platform game of the year. It's still fun and enjoyable for Sonic fans. Let's see. Lord of the Rings Conquest. Hard to recommend to everybody. I really enjoyed it, but it wouldn't be my multi-platform of the year. Let's see. Grand Theft Auto 4. While it was a very awesome game in terms of its universe and everything like that, it's not my personal favorite. I know a lot of people chose this as their actual game of the year, but it's not mine. It's going to come down to these 3 here. I want to eliminate Prince of Persia because it does have its problems in terms of I don't really care for the combat much at all. And I have played an extensive amount of this game since I got it. I'm probably like 6 or 7 hours into it already. But there's just, to me, the combat falls flat, and I don't really care for all the backtracking that you do. Last 2 on the list. It's either going to come down to Fallout or Mirror's Edge. Mirror's Edge, I had a ton of fun with it in terms of, you know, its unique style, and it was like it was like playing in a sci-fi movie almost. Fallout 3, it was like playing in a living and breathing world. While, you know, it's not perfect, and neither is Mirror's Edge. It can only come down to one of them. This was pretty tough. But I'm gonna go with Fallout because never before in a game did I really, since Oblivion, did I feel like I was in a world that you could actually be living in. I don't even know how to describe it. You know, it's like in Oblivion, I felt like I was there, and I had the same feeling with Fallout, and very few games do that for me, where, you know, you care about the characters. You know, all people say that way, oh, you care about the characters if they live or die. It's totally true about Fallout. You know, they give you some really extreme conditions and choices to make in this game, and you really feel like it has an impact on everything that you do. Everything from its graphics, and its controls, its gameplay, everything about the game is done very, very well. And without a doubt, this is the best multi-platform game that I think was available in 2008. Thanks for watching, guys. Coming up next is my Game of the Year for 2008 video. Make sure you watch that one.